Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. We are recording good. Just want to make sure it did not look like it was recording. Today we're going to be playing some more automation in the sandbox. I already have an engine made up. So what we're going to do, we're going to try and make a car that matches that engine description. And for that, make sure my headset is on correct, we're going to go back to the good old golden year of 2000. Now naturally, we're not going to go with the standard, let's see, we made an engine already where we went full high power. No. On the contrary, today, we're going to be making something just standard and drivable. Nothing special, nothing annoying, just a car. What I am attempting to do here is to replicate kind of a late 90s to early 2000s GM coupe or sedan. Now I'm not gonna purposely replicate the vehicle itself. This is more so about the engine more than anything. Now I do need a decent vehicle with a solid enough chassis to support what I'm wanting to do. And I am thinking that we may want to go with the 103.1, but I want a coupe. We'll run a coupe for this time around. Yes? No? Maybe so? Yeah, let's run the coupe. So the panel material is going to be steel. Chassis material, we're going to run monocoque, because why wouldn't you? Chassis, again, we're going to go steel with the... actually... No, we're actually going to go glued aluminum for the chassis, just because for this particular vehicle it makes a little bit of sense. Yeah, because they don't really rust down below, so they got to be aluminum or plastic or something. You know what? We'll go with galvanized steel. Is that lighter? It's literally the same, just costs more. Okay. This was, to some extent, a kind of budget-friendly vehicle. Some people called them performance family vehicles at the time, and I don't know if I necessarily agree or disagree, but it is most definitely something that people did say. Now technically they ran McPherson's in the front. Did they not? Were they always they were always double wishbone. All around. Now technically the rear was also trailing arm, but it was double wishbone for suspension as well, so we'll just rock with that. Now we are going to select an engine project variant. For this, there's one in particular. I gotta go down here, blah blah blah. Oh, there it was. GM Replica L36 3800 Series 2 from 1995. Select the variant. We're putting it in that coupe if I remember correct. And my computer is saying no. So let's get that reset here a little bit. Not going to do a whole lot to the body, just going to make it kind of simple, straightforward. Try and make it a little bit sporty. Let's see, bring the engine kind of back out like that. That should be about good. Tires out just a little bit. What can we do with the shape in this rear end? Bring it down? No. Let's face it, it was a GM of the 90s. They had massive trunks. Matter of fact, do I flatten that? Nah, let's bring it down a little bit. Something about right there. Can I adjust anything else up here? I can bring that back. That looks decent. Yeah, that's probably about right for that. Keep this flattened out. About so. And we'll continue on. Yep, that's right there. We're going to mess with coloring and everything later, blah blah blah. What I just want to get into is, of course, going to be transverse front wheel drive with a 5-speed automatic. Now technically that means overdrive, but this doesn't really let us set an overdrive the way I would like to. Top speed of 165, I don't think it's ever going to hit that, but we're going to go off of the final drive that is showing me, and these always ran a 323 if I remember right. But we'll run a 355 just to make a little more sense. No, 331. Spacing, they always shifted right around that 42 to 45 mark. So we'll kind of rock with that as well, which does give us a little bit of an overdrive. 5th gear, and 4th gear actually. 3rd gear isn't getting, I'm kind of going off of what I remember. In 3rd gear, it was definitely longer than that. 322 puts us at, I'll leave it there, that should be good enough. Let's go down to 70. No. Whatever, we'll just leave it there at 65. I'm gonna kill that frickin' guinea pig. Ay, ay, ay. It was obviously open up front because that's just what they did. Clearance on the side of the engine is narrow. Not surprising. They always kind of were. Plus, this isn't the widest of vehicles to begin with, but nonetheless. Gonna run we'll run medium compounds on this guy. And they were 225s, if I remember correctly. 16-inch. I don't actually know what the tire diameters were, but I'll rock with that. Bring that rear wheel out a little bit, and that front wheel out a little bit. That's probably about good right there. Always alloys. They were vented discs up front. Actually, no, they weren't. They were solid disc. I think they're always one piston, but this game doesn't really let you get away with one piston up front. We'll leave everything else as is. Just go through. Didn't have under trays. Didn't have cooling flaps. That's correct. Leave that as is. Gonna run sport with a standard CD. They were hydraulic, no variable, traction control, and ABS. They were pretty safe overall, but considering what I'm basing this off of, I'm kind of going for like a kind of a Monte Carlo or Impala design. Obviously, the car's not going to match whatsoever, but like the general layout of the vehicle is what I'm going for. So we'll go with standard 90s. We'll go advanced 90s. How much weight is that? That's fine. These were gas monotube. We'll go aggressive. Now, you know what? We'll go with standards, and they did run semi-active sway bars. Some did, some didn't. It really, that depended to some extent. We're gonna bring that dampening down a little bit. Spring action could probably stay about where it's at, but you know what? Now bring it down just a little bit more. Yeah, right there looks good. Blah blah blah. What's height look like? Height probably needs about 8 inches. Yeah, 8 inches looks good. What are you telling me for the tires here? Rear tires are wide. Brakes suffer. Chosen compound. Fine. Screw you. Well, actually, if I just bring this down to like 24, that should do a lot for that. Rear tires are still wide. Rear tires are still wide. Really? Alright, well, I'll bring this back up to 24. And we'll switch over to sport, which should take care of that. Rear brake force is high, brake suffer from brake fade. Alright. So what we can do from this point, yeah, see, no matter what you do, you can never get away with one piston up front. But we will make it a little more biased to the front. That does, rear brake force is still high, huh? Alright. Really don't want to do 70%. Okay, you know what? I'm not gonna. What's 60% look like? Rear brake force is still high. You know what? Whatever. I just want to get rid of the brake fade. I'll go to 65%, but I'm not going any higher than that. I got rid of both of them. No brake fade, and nothing else. Yeah, see, that just ruins it. So we have to run dual piston up front. There's no way around that. Everything else is looking good. I think overall it's looking like a decent car. It does have high roll angle. We can kind of fix that a little bit. Bring this up to 3,000, but I'm not going to go any higher than that. I don't want to lose too much of everything. 5.2, it's not worth it. Bring these back down to 1,800 like they were. Were they really higher than that? Nope. So 22 and 1,800. There we go. That'll work there. So we brought this down to 6.9 inches. It's probably good enough there. It does bring the roll angle down somewhat, and markets. We pretty good all around. We got some family utilities, some fun premiums. Family sport, which is kind of what these always were. Decent in pony muscle, too. It's not a convertible, though. How's it good in convertible sport if it's not a convertible? Premium budget, blah, blah, blah. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and pause record, and I'll be right back as soon as I get this design to some extent where I want it. There we have it. So the front end should probably look familiar if you're at all familiar with Chevys in general. It's kind of like an Impala meets a Monte Carlo front end. I actually think it turned out pretty good. Used kind of a neat trick to use two different license plate structures to create the smaller indent there. Standard alloy rim. It almost has like a Caprice look from this angle, which is kind of neat to bring in the Caprice look. SS, even though it's just a V6, but in this era that was the SS before they started putting the 5.3s in them again. Tried to kind of mimic the rear end look. Ooh, I just realized I forgot something. Something I may want at the end of the day. I need a couple. Just a couple of... Do I want to do you? No, you know what? I want to keep it as straightforward as possible. Keep it realistic. I'll use these guys. Why not? But there, nah, you know what? It needs to be kind of squared off and rounded, kind of like these guys. Bring it down in size overall, probably about there. And change this over to a white as well. And there are your reverse lights. They need to not be chrome though. Bring those to black. So this is going to be the street version, or the sold from factory version. And the next episode will actually be the modified version. That's kind of how I've been running everything. This actually has some potential for downforce now. It's got some downforce in the rear. Actually, quite a lot of downforce in the rear. Can I bring that down? I don't really need that much. It's just a street vehicle. The front doesn't have anything, being a street vehicle. I think that's fine. But in the future, for the next one, I am going to want to add at least a front lip to this thing. Overall, I think this looks pretty good, though, for a first go. And we will name it here. So it's got the GM Replica L36 3800 Series 2 in front wheel drive, as you do. Dual, not true dual, but still dual exhaust. We are going to name this. What should we name this? And here we have it, folks. Oh, hang on, make sure I'm on the right screen here. The Chevrolet. Basically the Chevrolet. Like shaver legs, basically, because it's the closest I could think of that actually sounded halfway decent. Bounder SS with the almost Monte Carlo / Impala inspired front end, wrapping around like a Caprice side end, which is kind of neat, really. All the way back to the, again, kind of almost a Monte Carlo / Caprice rear end. All in all, I kind of like it. Oh my. Perfect, right there. That's the money shot right there. Alright, well, enough screwing around. Shall we get into it and go? Start her up. Let's back out. There we go. Oh, that's the wrong button. I'm still getting used to using the controller here, so give me a little bit of a break there. Make sure I get everything where I want it to be. Perfect. Oh, that's the wrong button. Okay. So all in all, it does drive actually pretty well. My favorite feature? You can actually do a power brake burnout. It is a one-wheel wonder, mind you, because it isn't an open diff up front. But it is technically possible. And like I said, it does overall drive pretty well. The braking's not bad. Actually, the braking's pretty good overall. I am running it with traction control off. It does mean that the ABS is still on. But I do prefer to run with traction control off just because of the way that BeamNG actually handles the traction control. Ooh. Actually feels really good overall. I think, like, obviously it has to stay automatic to stay with the idea of what the 3800 always was. But there are some people that took the stock 3.8, the L36 specifically, the Series 2, stuck a supercharger off of one of the L67 3.8 supercharged, swapped fuel rails and everything, and built up the internals and everything to make 1,000 plus horsepower out of these things. I mean, that's 1,000 plus horsepower out of a front wheel drive vehicle, but still. Oh, the exhaust is hooked up. Weird. I'm just seeing some smoke coming from it, and I'm wondering what it's being caused from, but who knows. So before we get too far, I want to see how this thing handles in a race. Woo! See that front wheel go. Let's bring that camera back around here. And we are just going to, for the heck of it, race a minivan. That's right, folks. A minivan. It's actually, the steering's pretty sensitive. Pretty easy to control. I'm kind of throwing it around trying to lose it here, and I'm able to regain control pretty easily. Huh! Did that do any damage? Oh, yeah. Alright. Yep. Guess I reset back to here. There we go. So what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and come up to the line up here. The way I was before. Bring her in just like so. That's right, I have to do it from this side. Yes, I would like to accept. Random opponent? No, I want to. I'd like to select my opponent. Now, while that pickup would be fun to race, I want to... Which van should we pick? Wait, I do have a minivan, right? Where'd my minivan go? Oh, there it is. The Forest River, the Forest River Sport. Let's race the Sport. It's quite a bit heavier, but it is a lot quicker. Now let's start, shall we? Wait for it here. Oh, it did a thing again. God dang it. Hang on. Let me remember how to do this here. There we go. Get a little bit of a burnout there. Come on. Yeah, that van's going to be a lot faster here. Let's see if I can keep up in any way, shape, or form. That van is turbocharged. Just something to keep in mind. It's like a 400 horsepower van, I think. 14.9 though. That's actually not bad. Wonder what I can do against one of my other vehicles here. Ah, the fast car truck. That'll kick my ass. That'll kick my ass. Let's race it against this. Okay, how do I continue now? Start. Let's race this old beaut. I'm not even going to bother warming up my tires just because I don't actually need to. There isn't quite enough power in this thing to really need that. Wait for it here. It takes for frickin' ever. There we go. Let's get her lined up. Yeah, that thing's fast. I forgot how fast that thing was. Yikes. Yeah, I'm gonna get my butt whooped by that thing. It's 93 again. Apparently I missed my timing, so that sucks. Let's go against a different vehicle. So it occurred to me that I don't actually have a whole lot of just standard vehicles. So I'm just gonna race this thing itself and see how well I can do. Come on, other car. You can do it. Right, bugged out here? I think this thing's bugged out. I might have to restart this one. Is it really going to make me restart? Okay, I guess it's just bugged out. That's annoying. Oh. Well, that is just how I'm going to end this one, I guess. Just going to mass reset it, see if it works. Hey, there we go. I want to crash into this thing. Who won? No one won. That's who won. Cool. Well, thank you so much for watching, everyone. I'm sure everyone's gone by now, but that's an engine.